Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video, brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, guys, let's get into this market action today on this Tuesday, June 18th, 2013. Markets again having a nice solid rally across the board. We have the S&P 500 trading up about 12 and a half points. Dow is up 136 and the Nasdaq is up 31 on the day. You can see we've taken out yesterday's highs pretty easily right here and are trading north into a little bit of resistance up here. If I zoom out on this chart, take a look. This little pivot right here, this little low pivot right here, it gives you that basis for why there's resistance in this current area and why the markets are having a small pause or pullback right here. Now, a couple other things to go over. First off, tomorrow, the big day. Tomorrow, the FOMC will release their policy rate decision. Rates will obviously not change. The key is, do they continue to print massive amounts of money and say they will continue to print massive amounts of money going forward, or do they cut back a little and say, hey, listen, in the next few months, we're going to tone down on our quantitative easing or money printing. All right, the market is on pins and needles to the point where today the volume is dead. 61 million and it's already 2:30 in the afternoon. We're on pace to probably do about 85 million today. That is super light. And again, it makes sense because everyone's just waiting. Everyone's sitting back and saying, all right, well, I'm just going to wait for the FOMC rate decision, and then we'll figure out what we want to do in terms of going long or short in this market. Now, there are some concerns out there in regards to this market going into this FOMC meeting. Let me explain. First, the markets have had 2 days of very solid upside, right? Yesterday and today, the Monday and Tuesday prior to the FOMC rate decision. So the question is, what exactly is going on with the financials? Why is Goldman Sachs negative down 3 cents on the day when the markets are up so nicely? In other words, the financials are directly related, the most of any sector out there, to the Federal Reserve and their quantitative easing, because the money that they're printing is basically going straight to the banks, and the banks then can use it and make tons of money off of it. So any sort of pullback in quantitative easing would be a no-brainer negative for financials. So my question to you is the weakness in the financials a reason to be a little bit more cautious going into the next few trading days into this FOMC policy statement? And I think that is a possibility. Definitely a possibility. All right. And we'll keep our eyes and wits about us here in regards to that. Take a look at JPM. JPM was flat on the day, but actually got a nice little boost up here, just up 25 cents. Really a weak showing on JP Morgan as well. Wells Fargo's just up 11 cents, weak showing there. Bank of America, let's take a look right here. Bank of America is trading just up 9 cents. So, a lot of the financials, with considering the size of the move up today in the markets, they are definitely, I repeat, definitely weaker than you would expect. And you have to wonder just a little bit, is that some sort of minor signal about what the Fed's going to say tomorrow? Now, I think the Fed's going to probably continue to print money till the end of the year, but I do think the Fed may give us a little bit more of a heads up that after the end of the year, they could start pulling back on the quantitative easing. Now, again, what they're going to try to do is thread the needle. So they basically want the markets to keep going up. All right, so how do they thread that needle where they eventually start pulling back, and yet not yet, so the market still likes it? And the only way I can think about them doing this is by really saying, listen, on this date in the far future, that's when we're going to do it. Like really choreographing every step they're going to take far away in advance, maybe 6 to plus months in advance. So we'll see tomorrow on this FOMC statement. It is going to be a market-moving event. There is no doubt in my mind. All right. Let's go over a couple of the charts out there. IBM today, nice move up of $2.13, but actually a good pullback over the last hour or so on IBM. A little bit of support coming in right here on the intraday IBM chart. So again, let's see if it actually ends up kind of pausing or bouncing off of this. If it continues down, you have the key moving average right here. That's just the 50 MA. All right. Next up, let's take a look at Apple. And this stock continues to just underperform the markets, unbelievably underperform the markets in so many ways. Down 22 cents today. All right, yesterday it was basically up a couple bucks on the day, and that was a big rally yesterday. Today we're having another sizable rally, and this stock cannot even get to the positive side. So again, looking at the daily chart, it's very simple. Here's your 420 pivot. This is your last area of major support. Breaks this, it goes right to double bottom and most likely even lower after a quick bounce. It's holding above the 420 level thus far. I do expect in the next 1 week period for it to test 420, maybe as early as tomorrow, depending on what we see from the Federal Reserve. All right, next up, let's take a look at Google. Google I gave to my members in the videos in the Research Center as a bullish pattern. We even talked about it in the No Hype Live broadcast on Sunday night as a bullish pattern right here. Upward move, consolidation. I said it was going to break up 2 consecutive days, over $20 in gains off of that move. Beautiful move on Google. Just an absolute gem right there. So we'll continue to kind of watch that, but I actually said to them I think it's going to go back to this double top at 920, and I do actually think it's going to get there. I think probably in the next 2 weeks it probably touches 920, maybe even sooner than that. All right, so nice little move on Google. Chevron today is kind of interesting because Chevron has recently been one of the stronger stocks out there, but here very clearly we can see bearish consolidation going on underneath the 50 MA. Even if it gets above the 50, you're looking at this area right here at the 20 as being big resistance. And the one thing I will say here is this was the high flyer for many, many months. And all of a sudden we're seeing when the market's rebounding dramatically the last 2 days, Chevron has stalled out. And that does give pause in my opinion. It definitely does make me aware that there could be something lurking here on the Chevron front that could be setting up for a move down. So just a heads up on that. It's not ready to be a short yet, but I am isolating it down using a time count. And again, I will put this out to my members if it looks perfect on the charts for a downward move. So I will give you that heads up for those of you that are members, should it put in that formation that is just perfect for a short on this stock. A couple other stocks to take a quick look at. Tesla, TSLA. Tesla is up $1.57 today. This stock continues to make a wider bearish pattern, but there's just so many shorts in this that it's tough for the stock to not get a bid every once in a while by just a few shorts covering. So again, if we look at your intraday, it's actually had a pretty dramatic move up here. These are shorts getting squeezed again. Resistance up here, but I again have not shorted this yet just because again, there's just even though you have the perfect pattern here for a short, I need to see some sort of signal before I step up and do that. We shorted it up here using puts and made in 1 day 40% on our puts. Since then, we've stepped back and haven't done anything, but I am getting interested, but I need to see a little bit more out of it. So we'll continue to follow that and see how it trades over the next few days. Amazon. Quickly touching on Amazon. Amazon is up about $4, nearing the previous pivot high right here that we hit about a week ago. And then it had a great pullback, now right back up there. This is a great move up. I think it's easily going up here. I'd be somewhat surprised if you can't get to an all-time high on Amazon. I think the next step would be an area on Amazon of 300. 300 is really where I'm looking to short it on a Pierce of 300. But again, as it gets closer to these levels, I will give you guys that heads up and make you aware. All right, guys, let me just see if there's anything else out there that I want to check in on. Let's just do back to Goldman here, which is still, Goldman's actually inched up to the positive side, so that's a small positive on Goldman. And the spiders are pushing up a little bit here, just trying to get back above. You can see they're still stalling at that upper level, but they are trying to inch up just a little bit. All right, guys, I'm going to step aside. I got to get back to trading. But again, a nice little morning session here. Nice up move in the markets. Tomorrow's the big day. Be prepared. You should get some wild trading. And again, folks, come to InTheMoneyStocks.com. Take the 7-day free trial. Learn from the pros. Learn these proprietary techniques that have us making well over 200% net gains in this market in 2013, while even the best hedge funds are barely even scratching the surface of that. Come join us here and profit for life.